Hello there.
Howdy, neighbor. Welcome back to Pappamurf'S Porch. I hope you've got some time to spare today because you've arrived just in time for everybody's favorite segment. That's right, kids. It's story time.
Today's story time is brought to you by Logic. Are you tired of life not making any sense? Are you surrounded by people who specialize in driving you crazy? Are you tempted to stop communicating with your fellow humans so you can maintain your sanity? If you answered no to any or all of these questions, you could be suffering from a deficiency of logic. Logic is an all-natural remedy against common societal problems like idiots, morons, narcissists, jerks, lying liars who lie, or professional politicians, also known as idiotic, moronic, narcissistic jerks who lie. With a regular application of logic, you can get back to struggling to make sense of life again. Be warned, logic is not for everyone. Consult your doctor before taking logic. Side effects of logic may include observable irritation with your fellow humans, an intense desire for intelligent, fact-based conversations, mature perspectives on complex issues, emotional self-control, increased ability to wisely pick your battles, love of awesome science fiction TV shows and movies, and much, much more. For more information on logic, stick around.
Okay, kids, get comfy and let Papa Murph tell you a story. Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, nothing existed. Then the Creator realized he needed to do something about all that nothing. He decided to do what all creators do. He decided to get creative. And so the Creator got to work. First thing he created, strangely enough, wasn't seas or oceans or dirt or trees or even animals. He certainly didn't start off creating people or any other creatures. No, the first thing the Creator created was language. He created several different languages. And with those languages came the ideas for the creatures who would use them. He then realized he would need to create a world that these creatures would inhabit. And so the Creator got to work creating a brand new world. The world he created was elaborate, complex, and beautiful. Years passed as the Creator worked, slowly but surely creating his world. Then, finally, the Creator was ready to place his carefully created creatures onto his freshly minted world. And so he did. He populated his world with an incredible assortment of creatures, complete with complex laws, rules, and relationships. Once he completed his creative work, all that was left for the Creator to do was unveil it for all to see. And he pondered how to best reveal his creation before he settled on the most logical choice. The Creator would write a book. And so the Creator put pen to paper, and he wrote the following opening line to the book that would introduce him and his creation to the rest of the universe. In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit. The Creator I am referring to is none other than John Ronald Reuel Tolkien, and the fictional world he created is known as Middle-earth. Tolkien published his first book, The Hobbit, in 1937, and his magnum opus, The Lord of the Rings, he published that 17 years later in 1954. And in the 85 plus years since Tolkien introduced us to his creation, these books are among the most beloved and widely read literary works on planet Earth. And Tolkien? Well, he's only been heralded by countless millions as one of the most brilliant creative minds to have ever lived. Now I want to tell you another story. But don't worry, this one's a lot shorter. Once upon a time, billions of years ago, nothing existed. Then a tiny pinprick of uncreated matter and energy floating in the vast empty sea of nothing suddenly and unexpectedly began expanding. Fast forward 13.7 billion years and everything in the known universe, including all organic life on this perfectly positioned, uniquely complex world we are currently sitting on, exists. Thanks to this unplanned, unexpected, and uncontrolled Big Bang of matter and energy. And that ends today's story time, kids! So you may be wondering why I'm telling you these stories today. Well, in my personal search to understand what on earth is going on the earth, I came to realize that it's difficult to understand how we got where we are if we don't understand where we came from. Of course, many of you awesome YouTube surfers probably believe you already know the answer to the where we came from question. But
are you sure?
After all, it wasn't that long ago that the majority of humanity believed the Earth and everything on it was the product of a creator, a being or beings of immense power who intelligently designed this planet and its inhabitants. But in the middle of the 19th century, a highly educated and observant fellow by the name of Charles Darwin wrote a book titled On the Origin of the Species. This book's revolutionary ideas about our evolutionary beginnings would change the world. Human beings took that book and they ran with it. Over time, we've added other scientific theories to Darwin's until humanity's most educated members finally concluded the origin of the universe was the product of a sudden and unexpected expansion of matter and energy that has come to be known as the Big Bang.
You know what that means, right? That's right, kids. It's bonus story time. So get comfy again and listen to a bonus story from Papa Murph.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
And that's the end of bonus story time, kids. In case you were wondering, the story I just told you is the very first sentence in another world-changing book. And according to this book, life, the universe, and everything in existence is the deliberate product of a genius-level world-building content creator that would make all of our creative geniuses, like J.R.R. Tolkien, look like kindergartners.
So to review, human beings will collectively sing the praises of people like C.S. Lewis, George Lucas, J.K. Rowling, George R.R. Martin, and most especially J.R.R. Tolkien, for creatively creating complex and complicated fictional worlds filled with complex and complicated fictional characters and creatures, as well as complex and complicated fictional world-building rules. And those same human beings will simultaneously embrace the idea that this very complex, very complicated, and very non-fiction world all of us complex, complicated, non-fiction creatures are standing on is all the sudden and unexpected product of a sudden and unexpected cosmic accident. For those of you currently using logic, you may be thinking that the odds of this universe being birthed by way of a cosmic accident are about the same as an award-winning series of epic fantasy novels being produced by way of tossing a bag full of Scrabble tiles in the air and then publishing what spills out.
So, what is the point to all of this?
Wow, that's a great question.
And I am thrilled you asked it. But before I wrap today's episode up in a nice pretty bow, I have a very important disclaimer that will apply to those of you who are suffering from a deficit of logic as well as sarcasm sensitivity syndrome.
The following observations are saturated with sarcasm. Viewers with sarcasm sensitivity syndrome are advised to man or woman up and watch the rest of the video.
So the point I'm trying to make today is a simple one. Obviously, the flawless and mathematically precise precision found all over the universe is the unmistakable product of an unplanned and unexpected cosmic accident. But Narnia, Wookiees, Hogwarts, the Lannisters, and Hobbits are all carefully planned, meticulously crafted, and precisely created by humanity's creative geniuses. That's right, kids. There is no meaning, no reason, and no purpose for our existence.
All we are is dust in the wind, dude.
Or maybe, just maybe, all our flawed human scientists are susceptible to the same human frailties and weaknesses that the rest of humanity has to deal with. You know, things like narrative biases, preconceived ideologies, political manipulations, and my personal favorite, arrogant pride.
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
And all of this is just something for you to chew on before your next visit to Pappamurf'S Porch.
Tina, you fat lard, come get some dinner!
And that means we have reached the end of today's episode, kids. But don't you worry, we will definitely be building on the ideas introduced today in the near future. But right now, it is way past Pappamurf's nap time. So, thanks for taking the time to stop by. And remember, anytime you're in the neighborhood, I've got a spot saved just for you, right here on Pappamurf'S Porch.
Today's episode is brought to you by logic. Without logic, you can't make sense.
You're still here?
Well, since you're standing around looking for something to do, why don't you,
Just press a button.
you know, like the like button and the subscribe button, the notification button?
Any of these buttons. Just press a button and see.
Oh,